Hello and welcome to Soul Steps. I'm David Gallagher. I'm at the beautiful Oregon coast today, a wonderful fall day. And a number of years ago, about 8 years ago, my daughter woke up one morning and she knew it was time to get ready for school. And she had an absolute meltdown about going to school. She cried, just tears of agony about having to go to school. And absolutely digging her heels in to not go to school. And I didn't understand it. My wife didn't understand it. It was inexplicable. Why this unbelievable, traumatic, sobbing, tear-filled resistance to going to school. Now, some 8 years later, and she's a teenager, she has told us what was really going on during those days, and she was being terribly bullied at school. And if it wasn't bad enough being bullied by other students, she was actually being bullied by the teachers. She was being disciplined and corrected in ways that would not be okay with most parents. And I believe in discipline and correction when it's handled healthily. But then being told by teachers at school not to tell or say anything to her mom and dad. How truly traumatizing for a 6-year-old. And I want to encourage you today that when people around you are exhibiting behavior that you don't understand and that seems unacceptable and very difficult to handle, and we want to oftentimes strike out against the person that's exhibiting the bad behavior, I want to encourage you not to react so swiftly or suddenly and pass judgment on the person exhibiting that type of behavior. Because more often than not, there's a backstory to why they're behaving the way that they do. I want to remind you today in the scripture, in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, where it says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." In other words, in my daughter's situation, being terribly bullied by students and teachers, it was the evil, it was the ugliness in the hearts of those people that were rooted in spiritual realms and dimensions that motivated and inspired those other children and those teachers to do the things they were doing to actually destroy my daughter. And all too often, that's what happens in people's lives who are being attacked and assaulted, is it's happening at the hands of other people. But if you look past the people to the spiritual forces at work, motivating and inspiring those people, without them even understanding that they're being guided and directed by spiritual forces to act and behave the way they do, and they're being inspired and motivated by their own sinful, fleshly nature to inflict damage on other people, then you begin to see that the battle actually has to take place in spiritual ways and in spiritual realms. And that's through prayers and through intercession. And had I known it at the time, it would have happened through the confrontation I would have had, especially with the teachers, who then, the teachers should have been enforcing some strict boundaries around the other children who are doing the bullying. Don't lose sight of the fact today that when people display or demonstrate unhelpful, irritating behavior, throwing tantrums or fits, that more often than not, there's always a backstory. And it's trying to find out what the root cause is for that behavior. In the moments of our lives when people around us are exhibiting trying and difficult behavior, ask God to help you take a deep breath of patience in order to not react, and to also try to see more deeply into the behavior in order to find out what's really going on behind the scenes. 1 Corinthians 13:7 says, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Ask God to give you enough of that kind of love, especially in the face of difficult behavior, to allow love to help bear you up, to endure that, and to try to get to the backstory. Let your prayer today be something like this. Lord, when I'm confronted with unpleasant and even irritating behavior, help me to find out and discover the backstory. Help me to see what can't be seen by my mortal eyes, and give me what I need to help carry the situation, to believe for better, to hope for better, and endure it all until it comes to a beautiful, God-involved healing and resolution. Ask God to help you see the backstory and to support the person who's exhibiting some not so great, even ugly behavior. God bless you. Thanks for watching Soul Steps today. You can write us at hello@soulsteps.org. And we so appreciate your prayers. We want to partner with you. And thanks to today for remembering us in your giving. We appreciate it. God bless.